and watching you, and I said to myself, ooh, I hope they put me on their show. I was on the Martin Short show. I was on Craig Kilborn. I did...
Sally Jesse, Phil Donahue.
Yeah, Phil Donahue, a whole list of them.
All Things Positive show.
Mm-hmm.
All Things Positive. Okay. And I am positive.
You're very... That's why we invited you as a guest.
I am positive.
That's correct.
Look, you just saw these little...
clips,
thank you. Every one, if you look at those clips, Louis, and you go back, in the one with all those people living in a development, there were rats this big, size of cats. Nobody caring about it. But we got little kids laying on the bed. That's wrong.
Bogey, you know what? You're 100% correct, but you know what, Bogey? There's not a person watching this show right now that knows you and that doesn't know the fight that you have fought for people. I think, and this is me speaking now, okay, I'm going to take this to the left.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is, I think that, you know, there's a lot of shows on TV, a lot of news programs on TV. I'm looking at you. You're strong, you're healthy, you're good looking, you have a beautiful wife, a great family. I think the time has come, somebody out there that's got one of the news programs, one of the producers or directors or general managers of a station, get this guy back on TV. He's excellent. We need somebody to be fighting for us again. There's nobody fighting for the consumer. Bogey is here. Bogey's available. Give me a call, 213-276-3057, 213-276-3057. Let's get this man back on TV.
Thank you, Louis.
Where he belongs. I'm telling you.
Yeah, thank you.
I see you here.
You know,
you're on my
Louis,
show. I appreciate you coming.
I can't.
But you need to be back on the network.
Right. Louis, I came here to L.A. We were in Connecticut. And tell the story, honey, how this happened.
Right. Mike was at one of the stations in Connecticut.
NBC.
And he received a call one day, and it was from John Severino, who was out in L.A.
Now, who's John Severino?
John Severino was president of CBS stations all over the country.
Okay, all over the United States.
And prior to that, he was, I love this guy, Louis, like I love you and people out there.
Thank you.
He was with Channel 7. ABC. Some of the biggest names in L.A. are contributed to John Severino. Great guy. And go ahead.
Right. Well, John originally comes from Connecticut, so he knew of Mike. Anywhere Mike has been, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Florida, and of course here, he just instantly becomes well known. Most people think he's a native to whatever city he's in. And he called Mike and asked him if he'd be interested in a news job again. And Mike was offered a couple of different cities.
Tell the cities.
Well, examples would be New York and Detroit and Chicago.
Imagine.
And then Mike, of course, asked John, well, where could you use me the most? Where would you like me to be? And he told Mike L.A. And we were a little apprehensive about coming from the East Coast to the West Coast. But in his usual style, Mike just burst on the scene.
Let me tell you something. Let me cut in here. Do you know that when I saw him for the first time, I have a kid, my son Justin, who happens to be right now, who you met.
Yep.
In Palm Springs.
Nice kid.
Thank you. Met my wife and my two kids.
Yeah, nice family.
My son, Justin, he's 8 years old now. He would watch Mike Bogus, and he was, my name is Mike Boguslawski, and I'm in your court. My son would do this. This man here had an impact on so many. Once you watched him on TV and you knew he was coming up to do his segment, because they always would lead into, and we got Mike Boguslawski coming up later with this segment. They always did that.
Right.
When he came on there, you waited. If you had to go to the bathroom, you waited to go to the bathroom to watch his segment before you went, because he made that kind of impact. And that close. Can you do that close for me one more time?
You know, let me just say where that
please.
close came from.
Go ahead.
I told you in the first show, I boxed.
Yeah.
I was a tough kid.
Yes.
And so I remember one time when I first started, I went to a business. And I was trying to tell him why he was wrong. And I was pointing my finger. And I said something to the effect, I'm not in your corner. You know, mad. And the guy did resolve the complaint. He said, you know, you're right, Bogey. You're a fair guy. He said, you know what? Can I help you? I said, yeah, here's a merchant. Many of them would do that. Why don't you say, I'm Mike Boguslawski and I'm in your corner? And I did it in Connecticut. It picked up. You know, we had
New York,
all over. They would use me.
Pittsburgh, Orlando.
Yeah, it was Pittsburgh, Orlando, Florida. You know, L.A. When John Severino said to me in New York, when I get done with you, you will be the hottest thing in L.A. You know what?
You were, and still are the hottest.
9 times a day they would run me.
How many letters would receive out of
thousands? And every one we worked on, I didn't go like this and pick. I worked on every letter. I took my mail home. We had a staff that worked on every letter. No, we didn't resolve every complaint. You know, I got holes in my roof, and you know, they let it go for 5 years. Come on. You got to be decent. Not all merchants are wrong, and not all consumers are right. Sometimes they're both right. Sometimes they're both wrong. So they want someone to tell it like it is and be honest with the people. Look, did I hesitate to step on toes when need be?
No.
No.
Just by watching those clips, I can tell you did.
But you know what, Louis? I love people. I love the people of Los Angeles. I love movie stars. I love to give speeches to groups, organizations. My wife is right. I like sitcoms. I think there is a whole world out there. This is what I do best. You know, it's like me working for Metro Auto Group. I love doing that. But my first love is to get back into
the TV.
Movies, you name it.
Mike, let me ask you a question.
Remember, no one's doing what I did.
Oh, I know that.
And
you don't got to tell me.
Remember, if I'm not out there protecting you, imagine how you're getting ripped off. You know, if you got ripped off, Louis Perry, and you said to the guy, hey, you, I'm turning this case over to Bogey. Now let's see what you're going to do about it.
I know what he would do. He'd go running.
Right. Or he'll give you the money back.
Exactly.
I never went after someone who wasn't justified. And yet there were people that, you know, time in and time again were suffering. Why is that so wrong for me to help out a poor soul?
Well, you know, Bogey,
it's not.
Let me tell you, it's not. And another thing, let me tell you this, Bogey. The people watching this show, I will guarantee that this number, 213-276-3057, you want to get in touch with Bogey, call that number, I'll connect you, and I'll guarantee you, people are going to call and want to get in touch with you, Bogey. You know why? You know why?
Why?
Because, Bogey, you are somebody that has impacted a lot of people.
Thank you.
You have impacted them through your show, the different networks. You have impacted them by helping people out. You've done a lot of good.